Hi again, I'm Rahena, and we are playing more of Gakuen Heaven 2. We're continuing on Kuya's route, and this is going to be June 2nd in-game. This is the day after Yuki has received all his surprises about Tomo and the armband being missing. And if you'll remember, he also got the email showing someone taking the armband off of his jacket. So he got that suspicious video. And if you've watched my other Let's Plays, you know who that video is from and who is taking the armband. But I'm going to try to keep the spoilers to a minimum as I play through here, so you can watch these Let's Plays in whatever order you like. So the characters that you enjoy, you can watch them first, though I think I have kind of slipped up and mentioned a few spoilers here in Kuya's. Not going to apologize for spoilers in the Tomo, Joker, Sonata, other Let's Plays I've done so far, because they go in order and they build off of each other. So it's only natural. You can't get to one without the other. But since we're with Kuya and his story is not required to unlock anything, not central to the main plot, I'm going to try to keep the spoilers to a minimum so you can watch safely. Anyway, we will continue here.
Yoshi, ii tenki.
So it's first thing in the morning. Yuki is saying, alright, nice weather.
Kyou koso wansho mitsukeru zo.
I'll find the armband today. Although that weird email I got last night, it doesn't make it definite that it was stolen. I'll leave doubting others until I've searched to my satisfaction. So Yuki, as always, is wanting to trust in people and not jump to conclusions, even though he has some evidence showing that someone really did take his armband. He doesn't want to believe that. He's going to make his best effort to find it before he starts suspecting anyone else. As long as I find the armband, it'll be okay. The usual stomach growl.
その前に朝ごはんだな。
Before that, breakfast.
Jumbo, Yuki!
And we bump into Kuya first thing in the morning, and that is actually a Swahili greeting, so that's another one you can add to the list of languages that Kuya speaks.
おはようございます。
Good morning.
気合が入ってるな。すごい大盛りだ。
You seem pretty fired up. That's a huge portion. I'm not sure how that's different from usual.
ああ、これしっかり食べて元気出そうと思って。
Oh, this. Well, I thought I'd cheer up by eating plenty.
その心意気やよし。
Yeah, that's the spirit.
では、君の頑張りに期待して、前祝いにこれをプレゼントしよう。
I was expecting your effort, and I got this as a present to celebrate in advance.
おお、
Oh boy.
これはお値段350円のザ・スペシャルプレミアムアイス。
This is the special premium ice that costs 350 yen.
しかも、昨日購買に入荷されたばかりの新商品だ。
And it's a new item that just arrived yesterday at the school store. So that tells you two things: that Yuki knows a little too much about food, and number two, that he knows it pretty quickly. This food item just showed up yesterday, and he has already memorized the price and what it is.
もらっていいんですか？
Can I really have it?
もちろん。
Of course.
うまい！
Oh my god. Delicious.
しっかり食べて頑張ろう。
Yeah, eat up and do your best.
はい。
Right.
では私からはこれを。
Then this is from me.
あ、冷た。
Oh, it's cold.
高藤さん。
おはようございます。
Good morning.
おはようございます。何ですかこのプリン。
And good morning. What is this creme caramel?
差し入れです。お好きでしょ？
It's a gift. You like it, don't you?
好き好き。大好きです。
I do. I love it.
まさかクーヤも同じようなことをしているとは思いませんでしたが。
Although I never thought I'd do the same thing as Kuya.
ネタが被ったな。
Idea overlap.
しかし、俺の方が先だ。勝った。
But mine was first, so I win.
何の勝負ですか？
What contest were we having?
美味しいものはいくら被ってもいいと思います。
When it comes to delicious things, you can overlap as much as you like.
高藤さんもクーヤさんもありがとう。
Thank you.
どういたしまして。
You're welcome. Yeah.
そうそう。腕章を探すのでしたら私も手伝いますが。
Right. If you're going to look for the armband, I'll help too.
あ、それなんですけど。
Oh, about that.
実は昨べ 俺の携帯にこんなものが送られてきたんです。
Actually, last night someone sent this to my cell phone.
メール？
It's
動
email,
画ですね。
a video.
これは送信者は
Who's the sender?
空白でした。
It was blank.
なるほど。
I see.
君のアドレスを知っている人はどれくらいいる？
How many people are there who know your email address?
いっぱいいます。俺一回もアドレス変えてないんで。
Well, there's a lot. I've never changed my email.
この学園の人間に絞ってみてでしたら
And what if you restrict it to people at this school?
それでも結構隠すようなことじゃないから。
Well, even if you do that, there's still a lot. I don't really try to
だ
hide
け
it.
ど一体誰が何のためにこんなものを送ってきたんだと思います？
But who would send something like this to me and why?
そうだな。
That's right.
放送？
And there's an announcement.
本日午前8時30分より理事会主催の全校集会が開かれます。
And this is the announcement saying that there will be a school-wide meeting held by the board of directors today at 8:30.
生徒の皆さんは時間までに教室ではなく講堂までお集まりください。
And all students, please come to the auditorium, not the classrooms at that time.
繰り返します。本日
And it's repeating.
来たな。
It started.
どうやら悠長に腕章を探している時間はないようですね。
Apparently, we don't have time to make a leisurely search for the armband, so the board is not wasting any time. They're going to make their announcement.
もうみんな集まってる。
And at this point, we're going to skip ahead because this is the whole thing where Samaki explains it. All that kind of fun stuff. All right. Well, here's the point where you can talk to.
じゃあ今から伊藤先生に聞きに行ってくる。
The point at which you can go and talk to Keita if you want to about who to choose for your partner, and this again doesn't really affect the game itself, but it does unlock his scenes. So you can go to him and think of the person who kind of matches up with the character route that you're on to unlock some a special scene with Keita later on in the game when you actually bump into him interacting with the person that you imagined he would be with. So
いきなりだな。
I'm just going to set that up quickly. And the thing with this is that there isn't much of a change in the dialogue no matter what you choose. It's always kind of the same. So this is really just a very small detour. It doesn't actually affect anything that goes on here. But we'll pick the person here. So in that case, it was a beautiful person, and that matches up with Kuya. So now we're at the point where Yuki has to think about who he wants to have as his Bell 1 partner, and of course, we are going to choose Kuya.
やっぱクーヤさんだろ。
Well, after all, it ought to be Kuya.
クーヤさんなら絶対一緒に戦ってくれる。
If it's Kuya-san, he'll absolutely fight with
それ
me.
に
And besides,
あの人と組んだら負けない気がする。
I feel like if I pair with him, I can't lose. Alright, I'll go ask him right away.
クーヤさん。
やあユキ、ケイタ先生には会えたか？
Hey Yuki, did you see Professor Keita? And I think that's extremely cute that he calls him Professor Keita instead of Professor Ito. Even though they haven't known each other very long, because this is Keita's first year teaching.
はい。いろいろ話を聞かせてもらいました。
Yes, he told me a lot of things.
それはよかった。
I'm glad.
それはそうとして、クーヤさん、お願いがあるんですけど、
And by the way, Kuya-san, I have a
ベルワン
request.
のパートナーになってもらえないでしょうか。
Won't you be my Bell 1 partner?
パートナー。
Partner?
もちろんだ。俺は君の副会長だからな。
Of course, I am your vice president. So, it's actually interesting to note that even if you try going for other people and get rejected, Kuya will always say yes to you. I think Joker is another character who will always say yes because he's so interested in the Bell 1 that he will just jump in and accept it no matter what. And Kuya is really enthusiastic about stuff, very interested in Yuki, so he will also agree readily. some other people you have to work at pretty hard, like Sonora. Chiba's a little tricky to get. I'm trying to remember who else. Remember that Tomo also completely refuses unless you're very persistent. So Kuya always says yes.
やった
Woohoo!
ーよろしくお願いしますクーヤさん
I'll be counting on you.
ああ、こちらこそ。
Same here.
俺を君の右腕だと思ってどんどん使ってくれ。
Think of me as your right arm and feel free to make use of me.
右腕ですか？
His right arm.
そうだ。
That's right.
右腕とは部下の中でも一番頼みになるもののことです。それを自称するとは。
A right arm is the person among one's subordinates who's the most dependable. That you're calling yourself that is... So he's kind of implying that Kuya may not be the most reliable person on Earth.
なんだマサツグ。自分がパートナーに選ばれなかったからやきもちか？
What, Masatsugu? Are you jealous that you weren't chosen as his partner?
そういうわけではありませんが。
Not exactly.
まあいいでしょう。
Well, whatever.
朝比奈、クーヤはこう見えて案外頼りになります。
Even though Kuya seems like this, he's surprisingly dependable.
好きにこき使えばよろしい。
It's fine to overwork him as much as you like.
案外は余計だぞ。
That's a bit excessive.
だが
But
こき使うのは構わない。遠慮なく大胆にこき使いたまえ。
I don't mind if you overwork me, so feel free to overwork me without hesitation. So Kuya just very enthusiastic, kind of to the point of being overly enthusiastic and a little weird, which is a theme that we'll see carried throughout here.
誰が何と言おうと君がエースで俺はその下につく副会長だからな。
Whatever anyone says, you're the ace, and I'm the vice president who serves under you.
頼りにしてます
I'll be relying on you. Yeah. Well, thank goodness he accepted. Next, we need to prepare for the first round's quiz questions.
あ
どうした？
What's the matter?
さっきベルワンのクイズ担当は生徒会だって言ってたけどクーヤさんは出場してもいいのかな
Before you said that the student council was in charge of the Bell 1 quiz, so is it okay for you to participate in it? Which was probably one of the parts that we skipped. Yeah, that was kind of during the whole announcement thing. Because remember, when they go and speak to Tomo, Kuya is one of the people who stays behind to talk to Tomo in more detail about the actual proposed setup of the Bell 1. So he knows a little bit more about it than somebody else would, obviously Yuki and even Takato, who left.
それなら大丈夫だ。
It's fine.
担当といってもこちらはあくまで生徒側。
Even though I said we're in charge, in the end we're just students.
資料を提供するだけで出題をするのは理事会側だ。
We just offered the materials, and the ones who will write the questions are the board. So, okay, sorry, I misspoke there. Takato and Kuya both worked on getting the materials for the questions, and actually it was Takato, and we'll find a little more about that in a bit. Not too far from now, about his involvement here, which will be an interesting little aside.
そっか
ですが後で何か言われるのも厄介です。
But it would be a nuisance if something was said later. So, they want to play by the rules and make sure nobody can complain about them perhaps cheating.
あらかじめ榊副理事に確認を取るのが無難でしょう。
It would be safer to get confirmation from Assistant Director Sakaki beforehand.
榊先生か
どうした？
What's the matter?
俺さどうして榊先生が生徒会長の腕章を持ってたのか気になるんだよな
Well, I wonder why Professor Sakaki had the Student Council President armband.
先生が言ってたように本当に生徒の誰かが学園を潰したくて盗んだりしたのかな
I wonder if it really was stolen by a student who wanted the school to be closed, like he said.
君はどう思う？
What do you think? And now we have some choices to make. So it's either maybe it's possible, there's no way, or I don't know. And Kuya likes Yuki being very positive and having a good outlook and not suspecting others. So the answer here is there's no way.
俺はこの学園を潰したい生徒がいるとは思えないかな
I don't think there's a student who wants to close the school, I guess.
そんなことをしても意味ないと思うんだ
even if there was, there's really no point.
そこまでこの学園が嫌なら自分が辞めれば済む話だろ。
If they didn't like the school that much, the whole thing would be settled if they just quit, right? Makes sense. If there's a student who hates the school, why are they going there? Why don't they just drop out?
なるほど。
I see.
まあここであれこれ詮索していても始まらない。
Well, it's no use questioning this and that here.
まずは敵情視察も兼ねて俺がベルバンに出てもいいかを確認しに榊先生のところに行ってみようじゃないか。
First, let's try going to see Professor Sakaki so we can observe the enemy's movements and at the same time check if it's okay for me to be in the Bell 1 with you.
なんだったら君の疑問も直接榊先生にぶつけてしまえ。
And if you like, you can vent your problems directly to Professor Sakaki. Yeah. So in this this character route, there's actually kind of an adversarial relationship between the student council and Professor Sakaki that comes out a little more than what we saw in the other character routes. Because with Tomo, it was kind of what is he doing, talking to Sakaki now and then with Joker, he was a little more deeply involved, being on the whole Duroc side. And then once we got to Sonoda, their relationship is completely different. So little bit of a different look at things from this perspective, coming at it from the student council side, where you can see that they don't really get along. And Takuto especially does not like Professor Sakaki, which we will find out in the next video, because it is time to stop and switch to the next scene, which is it's a pretty rough one, so I hope you'll have fun with that. So thank you for watching this. I know it's a little confusing at times with all the skipping back and forth, but we are slowly getting to the point where we won't be skipping anything anymore, because it will be solidly Kuya's route instead of kind of the getting there setup of things, and then it'll just flow kind of smoothly from there. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.